So when it comes to public transportation, you know, I feel like a lot of us would be carrying a backpack or something like that, if that is the case, or just if you have the space, I would definitely recommend carrying a book or two, something like that. That way, as soon as anyone who gets on, if they're acting any type of way, or if it's a group of guys who are acting a certain way, you can quickly get that phone in your pocket. And now you got a book in your hand, something which, trust me, they're not going to want. They might even get annoyed with you. They might slap that book. What is this shit? And hopefully move on. Um, if you're sitting there on your phone, they might be like, hey man, can I use your phone real quick, make a phone call, I'll hand it right back to you. Or, they might go the more aggressive route where they just grab your phone, they might give you your fucking phone, you know what I mean? That type of shit. So, I definitely recommend that. It also makes it easier to engage if you have to. You know what I'm saying? Like you look up from the book and you're like, "Oh yes, can I help you?" And you're looking at them straight. You don't have a thing that you're worried about locking it or putting it away properly or what have you. It's just a book. You can slam it shut. You can hit him in the face. But yeah, man. I don't really, I don't use public transportation a whole lot. There were definitely aspects of my life, depending on where I was living and stuff like that, London and shit like that, where, I definitely used it more often, and I did see the type of things that people talk about and what you see in videos. And that would be my best recommendation because, you definitely don't want to be like staring at these guys or whatever, but at the same time, you don't want to show that you're afraid of them. You know what I'm saying? I believe in what's the word? What do I look for? Like, placing 100% into the world around you. You know what I'm saying? Like engaging and going all in. That's what I was looking for. Going all into the world around you and not being afraid to really be a part of it. The more you walk around without your phone out, the more you're looking at people in the world, and that gives you just even more of a leg up, because a lot of these guys, they're expecting to come upon somebody who's fucking with their phone and then to mess with them further, or distract them or whatever's about to happen, because you're in kind of like a more docile state. Whereas if you're walking around just without your phone, if somebody engages you, you're essentially kind of running a stop almost. You're almost like a cop at this point, because you got your hands in that way and you're making sure that these people keep that distance. And if they do move in, like Kelly McCann says, I've already hit you. I haven't pulled the trigger, but as soon as his hand comes up here and he's talking with you, he's already lined up his strike. And that's something that you'll see with a lot of these situations, which is it's somebody who's hoping that you're kind of one way, right? But like I said in that video about people loitering outside of the store and whatnot, if you come upon this person and your reaction to them is, oh, yeah, how can I help you and whatever, and like I said, you're keeping that distance, you have your hands in your review stance, that type of thing, they're of course going to get the feeling that while you're being polite and whatever with them, you have that strength about, standing there with them, and that you actually have more going on than just this nice citizen that they were hoping to take advantage of. More than likely, they'll kind of back away, if you see what I'm saying, most of the time, because you are making it a bit more difficult for them. I remember one time, man, there was this guy. I was outside of a club. I'd gone out this time for myself as opposed to working, right? So I'm outside of this club, and just out in the city and stuff, and and smoking a cigarette. And this guy is out there bullying people, trying to get them to order him an Uber and shit like that. And when he gets to me, I was just looking dead at him and I was like, what do you want? And I was like physically about to hit him in his face before he even started all this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So that's, and dude, that guy was sad. Like you understand, this is a guy who I watched him from further away being quite aggressive in his interactions. And then he gets to me, and he wants to, of course, start at the nice part before he gets to that part where he's, turning it into, you better order me a fucking Uber or whatever, being a random crazy guy. And I'd already cut through all of that because he is, of course, also looking at beyond the surface. You have to remember, you can communicate with some of these people without saying anything because it's the language that they're speaking. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you got someone who's coming up to you under the guise of whatever to then do something fucked up, if you already are planning something horrible, trust me, man, they're going to feel it. And they're going to be like, man, I don't really need this. Now, once again, of course, you may still have a situation on your hands or whatever, and that's what the physical part of your training is for. But this is just, some random ideas just to help with, once again, these small little things that the bad guys, quote unquote, they find an in through these things. We just find our way to close those gaps up, or put up a nice defense there.